Hi, my name is Leandro Facchinetti and let's write some code together, shall we? What we have on the menu today is Notestrator, this app that I'm developing to allow you to draw on top of your computer screen. So if you have a tablet just like this one, you can run Notestrator. Maybe you are doing a live stream, maybe you are presenting something on a meeting, or you are teaching, that sort of thing. And then you can start Notestrator and you can draw on top of your computer screen just like this. And today what we are going to do in the app, it's an Electron app, it's written in JavaScript, and today what we're gonna do is manage the windows. So when you start the app, you can draw, and I guess we already did the thing that hides the screen. No, it actually quits the application. No, it hides the screen. But then there is no way for you to bring the app back. So last time what we did, last Friday, what we did was this close button, but we need to have a way to reopen the app. And I think that the app needs to be here on the menu bar. So let's go to the Electron docs. I don't know much about this, and we'll figure it out together. And we'll do a menu bar thing and probably a global keyboard shortcut as well. And the keyboard shortcuts are broken in the app right now. So the idea that I have for the app is that you're going to learn the keyboard shortcuts and you're not going to have the menu here. It took me like 2 full weeks to style the menu and make it look good, but I don't expect that most people would actually look at the menu for too long. And that's why I put the keyboard shortcuts so prominently in the app. And that's also why I made the keyboard shortcuts so straightforward. But the problem here is that these keyboard shortcuts, first of all, they're broken. And we need to fix them. We broke them last time when we did the custom cursor. It changes colors and it changes, for instance, if I go to the eraser, it changes completely. So once we did the custom cursor, we broke keyboard shortcuts for all these keyboard shortcuts, so I can type numbers and the colors don't change. But also the global keyboard shortcut to make the app reappear is different. It needs to be handled at a different level, because when you are just doing keyboard shortcuts in the app has the focus. So the keyboard events are sent to the app. But if we are doing, if we are closing the window for the app, then you may be in some other window, like the Visual Studio Code window, and you still need to be able to bring up that Notestrator window. So this keyboard shortcut needs to live on a different level. It needs to be on the operating system level, and we will need to work at the Electron level to make this work, which is different from all the other keyboard shortcuts because they work at our app level. So we handle that as we would any kind of keyboard event in JavaScript in a regular page. So I guess 3 things for today. We'll see if we can do all of them. So fix in-app keyboard shortcuts, menu bar, and global keyboard shortcut to bring the app back. And I believe I'm going to do this in this order. I think that this will be straightforward, this will be slightly more complicated, and this will be just plain annoying. I don't think it will be complicated, but it will be annoying to do, so I'm going to do this last. So global keyboard shortcuts. Oh, and I need to stop the app here from the command line. So let's go there. Keyboard shortcuts. Oh, so the docs are even explicit. I haven't really read these docs recently, and they are explicit about this difference between local shortcuts and global shortcuts. Let's give this a brief scan. Ah. That's kind of interesting. I think this is the kind of shortcut that is like this one. So when the app is in focus, that works. And that's not how we handled keyboard shortcuts in the app. We just looked at the keyboard events coming in the browser. But doing this may be smarter because it may allow us to have we have this intricate problem, which is why the keyboard shortcuts are broken. We have two windows. One is the drawing window. It's a transparent window with an SVG. And the other one is this menu. And we need to have them as two separate windows for technical reasons. You can go watch the previous streams to learn about them. But the problem is that this drawing window needs to be in focus so that the custom cursor works. But the keyboard shortcuts are bound in the menu window. So I thought that the way we were going to fix that, the annoying thing I mentioned before, was to forward the events from the drawing window into the menu. But now that we are learning about this local keyboard shortcut stuff, we may get away with doing it differently. We'll see. But it seems to be attached to a menu, so we would have to have a menu of sorts. So that may not be ideal. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I guess we would need to have a menu, so I probably don't want to do that. But we'll see. I'll deal with this later. Let's talk about global keyboard shortcuts. These are the keyboard shortcuts that are available at all times. Yeah, I guess the way we did our keyboard shortcuts so far are within a browser window using web APIs. And that's exactly what we did. We used a library called Mousetrap, but that's what the library does. It listens for key events. That's kind of interesting. There is this event at the Electron level before it is forwarded into the browser window. Okay. We could maybe intercept an event coming into the drawing window and forward that to the menu window without having to go in the browser window itself. Oh, they even recommend Mousetrap. That's nice. That's the library we used. That's exactly what we did, using third-party libraries. So I guess we'll go with global keyboard shortcuts for now. And let's see, we need to import global shortcut from Electron. And then when the app is ready, we can register this crazy keyboard shortcut. Okay. I guess I will do that after our browser windows have been defined. So at this point, and I'm going to register a keyboard shortcut. Ultimately, I want you to be able to configure this, but for now I'll go with just by default. It will be Control plus Alt plus Command or Control. Oh, so that's not gonna fly. So it's Command or Control. Actually, I want you to, on a Mac, we'll think about this when we get to Windows, but on a Mac, I want you to hold Control, Option, Command, and then Space. So it's like your hand goes into this row and just you type in the keyboard shortcut. So this is going to be Control, Alt, and Command, and then a space. Let's see if Electron really does love global shortcuts. Great, that worked. So all we have to do is, at this point, take our drawing window and show it. So now we should be able to hide. So we draw something, we hide using this, and then we are somewhere else. We are in the browser, and then we hit the keyboard shortcut and we are back into drawing mode. Excellent. That was easy. As easy as I thought it should be. Now let's do the menu bar. I guess it will be around here. Let's see, Electron Menu Bar. Maybe they have a different terminology for this. I had to reinstall my whole operating system. That's why you saw that message. Oh, will I have to use a library? I really hope that there is just a basic native way of doing this. But I'll keep this around in case I need it, and it seems like there is this other package. Yeah, so if this library is written in TypeScript and JavaScript, I think that there is a native way in Electron for me to interact with the menu bar. Otherwise, the extension would have to be written in C and C++. If you're watching this and you know how to do a menu bar thing in Electron, let me know. I will continue investigating this. Oh, so maybe it uses the terminology system tray, which is the Windows terminology. Okay, yeah, probably I have to search for tray. Add icons and context menus to the system's notification area. I think that's what I want. Let's see. Maybe there is some kind of tutorial about this. No, it seems like you have to dive into the API docs. That's fine. And we have other references like that article. So I think we'll figure this out. Let's see. I will need to create a tray, so I will import tray over here, and then a tray seems to act pretty much like a browser window. I will create an object and I will have to give it a menu, and a tooltip and everything. Okay. And I believe that this icon can be something like a PNG or something. Maybe an SVG. What do they do in this article? Okay, they make it complicated. They use a PNG. Okay. So we will use a PNG for now, and the PNG will be something simple like I will take a screenshot of this logo. That's going to be our example image for the tray. So where does this go by default? I have just installed macOS on this computer. It goes to the desktop, and I will want to move into code, Notestrator, and just drop it in there, and I will call it icon PNG. So now I should be able to, when the app is ready, create a new tray, and it seems like I have to give an absolute path. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'll give this an absolute path. And I seem to not have used the path library yet. The path module is one of the most it's one of the modules that I use the most, so I'm surprised I have not used it before here, because it's one of the modules that everyone uses the most. Let's see if we have an icon on the menu bar. Okay, we don't. And also we didn't get any errors, which is kind of interesting. Do I need to do any extra work to show? Or must I give it a context menu? Maybe that's it. Okay, now there is something here. Menu is not defined. No, it went away. That is weird. Yeah, so I didn't import menu, but I can. It is there. And now it doesn't go away. No errors on the console. That's good news. Okay, so let's see what is essential and what is not about this. So if I don't give it a context menu, but I give it a tooltip, is that enough to make it show up? Yes, it is enough to make it show up. And if I don't have a tooltip, then I don't think it will show up, because it didn't before. It still shows up, so I have no idea what went wrong on my previous test, but that's okay. So if I just, oh, I think I know what it is. I assigned it to a variable. Is that it? Was garbage collection the issue? If I assign it to a variable, then it's there. If I don't assign it to a variable, then the garbage collector is free to collect this object, and then it goes away. Oh man, okay, fun stuff. And it will need to use this anyway. I think we'll have a menu too, so I guess in the end it's not too bad to have this, the rest of these lines. IDDQD-san, hey, nice to have you here. This thing is looking better every day. Thank you. It is, I guess, halfway to our first release. What we have is a working app of sorts. What is still missing is everything around it. We don't have a way to share the app. I don't have an installer for the app. I don't have a website for the app. I don't have Windows support, Linux support. I don't have a menu bar, but now I'll have one. So still a lot of things to do. I guess I am in episode 17. I guess there will be like 30, 35 sessions for an actual first release. So this is looking awful. Let's come up with an icon for this. Can I use an SVG instead of a PNG? Let's try this out. I have here on my node modules under font awesome and SVGs. I have regular SVGs. I'll just take one of these. Can I show this in Finder? And then why does it say 90? 85. That is weird. So now instead of icon PNG, I'll have icon SVG. No. What was the issue? Failed to load image from path. Blah blah blah. Guess it just doesn't support SVGs. That is surprising. Did I get the path right? I mean, I must have, but it's odd. I was expecting it to support SVGs. I mean, it makes sense to have this thing as what is it called? Vector images. So this is our path, and it does exist. There it is. So it doesn't support SVGs. That's odd. Let's see if they say something about this here. Native image or string. So I guess I'll need to know what a native image can be. Maybe a native image can be an SVG. Create tray, dock, or application icons using PNG and JPEG. So SVG out of the question. Okay. So what do we want to have as the dimensions of this? What is the size of one of these icons? Let's zoom way in. Oh, this is a new computer. I don't have my zooming features enabled. So let's go to accessibility. Zoom, enable. No, not with a keyboard, with a scroll gesture. There you go. So now let's zoom way in and use Command-Shift-4 to do a print screen, but I'm not doing a print screen. I'm getting the dimensions of this guy. So it seems to be about 22. That's a weird number. How about we say that it's 20 by 20? Let's try that. And let's go to a drawing program, because we're going to draw the icon ourselves. I mean, this is the time where we do a logo for our app, at least a simplified version of the logo. Oh, it seems like on Windows it's recommended to use ICO icons to get the best visual effects. So I guess it's not only SVGs and PNGs, you can also have icons, ICO files. And it doesn't even say anything about ICO files. The documentation is inconsistent. Oh, and there is a whole shenanigans here about... Okay. The dimensions, there they are. And I guess I'll have a small icon. Oh, but these are the dimensions for the Windows stuff. And yeah, okay. Let's see if they say something about the dimensions of a Mac thing. Why do they bother with 2 and 3 times versions? I mean, this is for high definition displays, but first of all, high definition displays are ubiquitous, so they probably should have been the default. But also, couldn't you just, in a lower resolution display, just resize the icon and then you just serve the at 3 times? I mean, that would be easier. I mean, what is the point of optimizing such a small image and serve the 1 times for some people? I mean, it makes no sense to me. Really, are you not gonna give me the dimensions? I mean, I already tested with the GitHub screenshot, so I know that if I make it super big, it will look crazy and truncated, but it will not restrict the image in any way. Yeah, I guess we'll go 20 by 20. Whatever. Thanks. New document. Let's save this. Oh, no changes to be saved. Okay, I'll change the dimensions of the document to be in pixels, and I'll do 20 by 20. Now I have something to save, and this will be my logo SVG under Notestrator, under Node Modules, append, enable, blah blah blah, save. Let's zoom in, and to begin with, I want to import one icon that is like a window. I have an idea of what I want this icon to look like. So I want it to be like a window, like an app window with like a stroke in the middle. So you're drawing on top of your windows. So I know under Node Modules in the font awesome stuff, there is one of those. I think we are actually using it in the app. So let's see the ones that we are using in the app. And also check here what are our options. So maybe this is probably what I want to use. So I have a window like this. And what's going on here? Oh, it's failing, of course, because of the SVG stuff. So I'll do icon PNG. And this part should fail, but the rest of the app should run. No, it won't. Okay. I know what I want. I want the font awesome, free, SVGs, and then do I want the regular or the solid? I think I want the regular, so I'll go with regular. And then what is it called? Window maximize. Include and embed. Yeah, I want to include. Okay. This is probably gonna be super big. And this is like a rectangle with rounded corners. I don't know why I went into the trouble of importing this. I'm probably gonna change it anyway. So let's resize this, keeping the proportions. It's about this size. Move it to the right place and zoom in. So I want it to be at 0, 0, and I want its width to be in pixels. So it's not exactly a square, so I'll constrain the proportions, and I know that this dimension is bigger, so if I go 20 here, it will occupy the whole canvas on this axis, but not on the other one. So now I can arrange relative to the page and centralize this, just like that. And I am not too happy with this icon. I think it would be nice to have the little circles. They are operating system specific, but maybe they make the image too busy. Let's look at this in its actual proportion. Yeah, I think I'm gonna try to find an icon that has the little dots, or maybe I'll just make it myself. It's not too hard, but yeah, this is what I mean. Let's download this SVG. Get rid of this one and import that one. Where is my downloads folder? Now that is more like it. It's also thinner, which I appreciate. Maybe too thin though. Again, 0, 0, constraint proportions 20. And let's centralize this little guy. So now I already have something that I kind of like. So let's see what this looks like on the menu bar. So I'll export a PNG of my page with these dimensions at this DPI. Actually, I can just do this and it will be high DPI. No, I actually want it to be 20 by 20 if you can. Nope. Okay. Export as, or not really export, I already want this name. I know that I want that name, so I can come here and rename this from icon to logo. Okay, and the color is wrong. And it doesn't look as sharp as this one. Do I need to give like two images, one for one for light mode and another for dark mode? Is that how this is gonna work? Well, let's make the image white, so I can just come here and change this fill, which is black, to white. And then it's kind of hard to work on this under these conditions, but I can make the document background a different color. Background color, and I'll just make it black. But this is just the preview window in Inkscape. It should not export like this. When I export this now and reload my app, something funny happened while I was investigating the sharpness of the icon. It went away. I believe that has to do with the garbage collection. Just took a little while, but it happened. So in terms of size, see, it went away. Here's a trick. App, add event listener of whatever. The listener is a function that references the tray variable. Why am I doing this? This event listener will outlive the context of this big function. So the event, when it triggers or it doesn't trigger, it doesn't matter. It will refer to this variable. So this variable will be kept in context. It will not be garbage collected. Super deep stuff in terms of programming language stuff, but it is weird. It is what it is. So maybe this is not sharp because I was not able to export this as a sharp image. The DPI was too low. Inkscape export high DPI. There you go. I want to change the DPI. I don't want to change the actual size of the thing. Well, here is something. I could export at double the size and then resize it when importing, which is what we do on the web to make these kinds of things work. Yeah, I guess that's what I'm going to do for now. So instead of doing 20 by 20, I will have a canvas of 40 by 40. I will make this 40 wide, constraining the proportions, and I will arrange and align it to the middle, just like that. I can save it. When I export this, it will be 40 by 40. And I believe that if I don't say anything, the icon will be too big. Yeah, the icon is too big, but now I suppose I'm able to just tack on add 2x at the end. Yeah, I think that's what I have to do. So I'll say add 2x and export. And then over here, I will import this add 2x. I believe now it will resize and make it sharper. Bam! It is sharper. It's even sharper than the OBS menu bar icon that I'm comparing it to. In terms of size, I think it's absolutely perfect. That is the size I want. And in terms of sharpness, I would compare it to the sharpness of the other icons on the platform. So if I move my face out of the way, you see this icon, for instance. It is about as sharp as my icon. In fact, when I compare it to these icons, mine may be too big. What are the dimensions of this? Come on. Of this icon. Yeah, this is like 15 by 15, so I'll go 30 by 30 and resize. Okay, back to seeing my lovely little face, and we'll do this one last time. So we'll go 30 by 30, make this 30, and again realign. And in terms of exporting this, I will keep the same name. So now when I load this, yeah. That looks perfect. Here's a trick you may not know. If you hold Command, you can drag these icons around. And now I can compare it to the macOS icons. And mine just blends in. That looks great. It looks a little off though, it's misaligned. And you see, it's not going away anymore. Yeah, the trick to prevent garbage collection worked. So yeah, it seems a little off. It's 1 pixel off. Yeah, but it's just 1 pixel off, so we're gonna live with that. This is our lovely little icon, but I said that it didn't just want a window. I actually wanted like a stroke in the window. And I'm not sure how this is gonna work. Let's try this. So if I put my pen here out and I draw something, looks terrible. No, this is not gonna work. Let's have maybe another icon that we can borrow. Let's see what they have in store for us in terms of, well, an actual store. And drawing pen. Maybe one of these in the window. No, it's too specific about the way we are drawing using Bezier curves. Marks, mark, ink. Ooh, this is nice. Yeah, I think I will even make it solid. Yeah, let's download this SVG and see how this looks. I kind of had something like that in mind, so that's perfect. And This is of course black, but it should be white. And let's see how this looks from afar. Yeah, I think I want it to bleed into the bottom and not bleed into the top. Maybe rotate it. Now it kind of looks like an open quote. But my idea is that this would look like you have a window and then you have a felt tip pen or an ink nib and you start drawing on top of it. And I'm left-handed, so this drawing direction goes like this, the more natural drawing direction. But I guess if you're right-handed, it would be flipped. Never mind that. That's okay. I think that this looks okay. Kind of also looks like a tear. So maybe the app is crying. I don't know. Let's see what this looks like on the menu bar. Doesn't look bad. Doesn't look great either. What do you all think? Let me know. You can... Oh, it kind of looks like what Inkscape has going on, like the ink, like that. Yeah, the droplets are okay. Let's see what Font Awesome has. I'm trying not to mix and match the font libraries, the icon libraries, because they have different intents and different design decisions, but it is what it is. Let's see what they have for ink. Yeah, that's why I prefer the Bootstrap icons. If only they had the icon I needed. There is one icon they don't have, which is the highlighter. Could probably have adapted an icon and made it myself, but it is what it is. So let's see. I will keep this around, but I will hide it for now. So let me show my objects. I'll keep this around. Maybe we will want this, maybe not. I'll try to draw something myself. It shouldn't be too hard. IDDQD Sound proposes to design something. Yeah, I would love that. I mean, if you want to do it together, that could be kind of nice. We could do a stream about that. I am no designer myself, so any tricks I can pick up from you, I'd be glad to. But if you just want to send me something, if you are really fast, I mean, it's a relatively simple icon. If you're really fast, send me during the stream. That would be fun. So maybe something that looks like this, like a pen, just drawing. Maybe that could be nice. So what if I have a marker and it should be white and I draw? This looks terrible, like a brush. This is horrific. Maybe it's just because it's too wide. That could work. And I have a pen and a tablet right here. Why don't I just use it? I'm not sure Inkscape is going to recognize. No, it's not recognizing this pressure. Wiggly. No. Splotch and tracing. No. Maybe dip pen. This is super wonky. I'll draw some Beziers by hand. And then we'll compare to what IDDQD sound or ARIA, what ARIA comes up with. I'll do some Bezier by hand here. How hard can it be? So it will go something like this. Now it kind of looks like a thunder, but I have something in mind. First of all, I want to make it white, but also I can simplify path. Where is this? Simplify. And I'm just iterating on this. I'm hitting simplify path many times. This is starting to look like the logo for that iPad app for drawing. What is it called? Procreate. It's starting to look like the logo for Procreate. Yes, that curve. But that's okay. That is a nice logo. And I will make all my control points smooth. And there is an extra control point that I don't like. First of all, what is going on? Oh, there is a black stroke. Let's get rid of the stroke. And there are 2 control points here. I think there should be only one, and I think that this control point, this one needs to be sharp. And this one will be sharp as well. And these 2 can be symmetrical or even smooth. Doesn't look great, but doesn't look awful. And I want it to bleed into the window. And if I make this very extreme, can I make this symmetrical? I want it to be symmetrical. When I move one, the other moves as well. That is great. And then over here, I'll do something similar. Can I make this one symmetrical? Nope. Let's see this from afar. Maybe if I make it bleed into the menu bar. This kind of looks ridiculous. It looks like a broken window. Not too good. Let me open my objects window again. So we have option number 1, which is this lousy shape, and we have option number 2, which is the drop. I will go with the drop. For now, but Arya is probably going to come up with something better than this. And then we are going to go with whatever he comes up with, probably. Let's see what this looks like on the menu bar. Oh, I forgot to export from Inkscape. Okay, Inkscape, export, replace. Yeah, it's okay. It works for now. So I'll close Inkscape before I'm tempted into trying to make this better. Arya will make this better for us. And by the way, Arya, if you can come up with the dimensions we are using is 30 by 30, and I mean, if you can come up with a menu bar icon, that will be awesome. And if you can come up with an actual big-sized logo with colors, that would be awesome. That would be excellent. And if you're up to it, I would love to do it on stream with you because I would love to learn the process. Okay, let's make this menu make sense. So when you start the app, I guess when you start the app, you go into drawing mode right away. And if you close it here, over here, I need to give you an option to open the app again. So let's see, context menu. This is my application. I guess I'm going to do what OBS does, which is to just say Notestrator. And in terms of the context menu, I don't need to have a variable for this. I can just inline this call. And then menu build from template. We'll need to learn about menus. A template is an array of options for constructing a menu item. The usage can be referenced above. Okay, let's see. Click will be called with click blah blah blah. So let's do that. I'll say draw, and this will not be a radio. It can be normal, separator, submenu, checkbox, or radio, and it's optional, so I don't need to provide it. And a label, I suppose, will be, oh, it's optional. So what happens if you don't give it a label? It breaks. Menu item must have at least one of label, role, or type. So we know what type is, and we know what label is. What is a role? Oh, okay. So it can be one of these things. Oh, quit may be useful. So we'll have a label of draw with a click of drawing show, and we'll have a role of quit let's try this. Draw brings it back, and quit Electron. Okay, but it will be the name of our app. When we start working on the distribution of the app, we'll have to do what they call like branding. Right now, the app just looks like an Electron app with the Electron logo. Electron is the name of the app, but when we get into the branding, I think that this will read quit our app. And this is something that other apps do, like exit is the last option here. So yeah, quit. Oh, and it doesn't work. I say quit. Yeah, it doesn't work. I think it is because I made all the windows not closable. But that's okay. I could have a label called quit and a click called that just does drawing destroy. And if I destroy the main window, I think that the whole app will shut down. I think it's a more principled way of doing this. I could always just say like process.exit, which is blows up the whole Node.js project process, but I think that's too heavy-handed. Nope, doesn't work. Yeah. Do I have something like app quit? There you go. No, it refuses to die. Well, what if we combine the approaches? We destroy the drawing window, we quit, or do we have to be explicit and destroy the menu as well? Okay, we'll try to destroy the drawing and the menu and try to quit the app. If that doesn't quit the app, I will destroy the whole Node.js process, and that will be that. Okay, so that quits the app. So if I don't say app quit, okay, so I just have to be explicit and destroy both the parent as well as the child window. That's okay. And probably in the future we'll have a settings that will allow you to change the keyboard shortcuts, maybe change the color palette, but that could be too many settings, I guess. Is settings quantifiable or not? English is a weird language. Okay, so we can keep the app open. Oh, it would be nice if I had a shortcut for this. I mean, I have. Oh, that's nice. Look at this. When I put my cursor, it shows Notestrator. OBS Studio. Does it show for something else? No. Okay, so I will try this in dark mode. I wonder what will happen to my icon. I think it will break. No, even in dark mode, this is still dark. So that works. Excellent. What's next? Guess I have something that kind of works. Let me commit what I have. So I ds store. That's because I don't have a global git ignore. This machine has just been reinstalled. I'll not worry about this right now. So logo PNG, we got rid of that. And then logo add2 and logo SVG, as well as this. So is there something here that I don't like? Arya emailed me a basic sketch, but he hates it. Thank you for doing that. I will do something that you should not, and I'm going to open my email on the stream. Let's hope there is nothing too embarrassing in there. And here is your email. Let me close this real quick. Okay, didn't see anything. Okay, I like this. So for now it's a PNG, but I think I can learn enough Inkscape to make it. Oh, so you don't have to. I mean, I'm using Inkscape because that's what I have used in the past, but what I need is a PNG with a transparent background. And I need, I mean, yeah, I think unless the icon is square, I think it has to have a transparent background. And whatever tool you're using to do that, that's fine. Okay, I don't think I want the icon to have colors, because the only icon that has colors is the Siri icon. And I think I better have match the rest of the icons and have just white. But yeah, I think I will have something to that effect. I like this. Maybe for the big logo for the website. Thanks for sending. You're awesome. But let me continue what I was doing here. So I was committing this and I was looking for something that I would want to change. Yeah, no, seems like it's good enough for now. Let's commit what we have. And yeah, I mean, I have to have icons for the menu bar on macOS. I need an icon for the app itself down here. I will need an icon for Windows. I don't know how that will show up on the menu bar on Windows. I will need big icons, maybe not even icons, big illustrations for the marketing website. I want to have a marketing website. It will probably be simple, like this is a good reference for a website that I kind of like. It is an app written in Electron as well, and it's so simple. I mean, the illustration is just basically one of the views in the app, and there is the logo right here. Their logo is just a circle. So maybe something like what I did with the droplet in the window could be over here, and then we could just have my idea is that the marketing website will be editable. You will be able to draw on top of the marketing website, so I'll have the menu that we came up with, the styled menu will show up on the website. Maybe some other images like that. So nothing too fancy, and I may use the thing you set as like the hero over here instead of just a gradient. We'll see. But where am I at? Yeah, so one thing is maybe this guy could have a keyboard shortcut assigned to it. I don't seem to have any apps that do that. But it would be great if it just showed one of the keyboard shortcuts like the one I have here. It would be great if it showed like that over here. So let's see if in the menu thing I can specify a shortcut. No? No. Felipe is... Hey Felipe, it's nice to have you here. Hi Leo, from my experience developing on Electron, you're going to need different formats for your icons for each OS. For Windows you need ICO, for Mac OS PNG, and for Linux SVG. Oh, that's interesting. From the brief scanning of the docs that I did during the stream earlier, I learned that ICO is necessary for Windows, or at least is going to give you the best results in Windows. So probably do an ICO on Windows, and then in macOS it seems like PNG is the way to go, and I didn't know that in Linux you would use an SVG. I would have liked to do an SVG on all platforms, but I believe that Inkscape will be able to export. Well, for sure it will do SVG because that's how Inkscape stores the file. And it does PNG as well, but I think it's also capable of doing ICO, but I may have to do this in like 2 steps. Let's see if I just try to save this. Maybe I can save this as an ICO. I cannot. But I'm pretty sure that there will be some kind of extension for Inkscape or even an SVG to ICO converter online. So I'll just drop my file here and it will convert it for me. That's alright. I'll probably have to have like 15 different sizes and pixel densities and whatnot. But I guess that's easy to do. So I don't think I can give it a shortcut. Let's briefly look at the options I have here. Click is something I already used, and roll didn't work for us because of our shenanigans for the window management. Type, label, sublabel, tooltip, accelerator. Accelerator? Is that a weird name for a keyboard shortcut? Yes. So all I have to do is an accelerator, which could be our... Is this just going to display, or is it going to try to do something else as well? Let me give a different keyboard shortcut here and let's see what it does. Oh, it shows up exactly as I wanted, but it doesn't really work. And I even have the app in focus, so it really does not work. I guess it's just for show. But that's exactly what I need. I need this one just for show. And this one is like that. Draw is Control, Option, Command, and Space. And then it's showing the keyboard shortcut like that. Excellent. Do I have a lot here? No. But I'll commit anyway. And there is a lot more here. Oh, there is something, a low-hanging fruit. I'll probably read over this in a future stream or maybe even off stream, and I'll figure out the exact options we want for the menu. But it's good enough for now. It's even showing the keyboard shortcut, so you can learn what the keyboard shortcut is to bring the app back into focus. What I would like is for the app to not show up in the dock. I don't want this icon over here. It's exclusively a menulet. It's an app that shows up in the icon, in the menu bar only. So I guess I will have to do something with the app. I think it will be. Let's see. I mean, I was thinking if I would do something with the menu bar. I don't think so. If I was gonna do something with my browser windows, I don't think so. I think it will be at the app level. Configuring the macOS dock. Is there a way for me to hide? App.dock something. I bet it's gonna be something like that. Show, if there is a show, there is a hide. And then that will work. First try. Check this out. No, it's there. Still there in the dock. Oh, but something cool happened. Oh, no, I thought it wasn't here anymore, but it is. So, ideally, it would not be here either. Is that something that makes sense? I think so. But it definitely should not be in the dock. It's a menulet app. It's not something that should show up in the dock. Dock. Bounce, cancel bounce, read only, Electron hide, hide dock. What is the equivalent for app dock hide? Exactly my question, sir. I'm currently working on Electron app for Mac, blah blah blah. But maybe it doesn't work in development. Oh, it doesn't work on Mac, but I guess I'll just drop this in real quick. So when I create my browser window, it doesn't hurt for me to just drop that in there. And then on my menu, I will drop that in there as well. Windows support will be a whole endeavor. It will be a future episode. This is super old. Ah, that's hacky. Let's try it. Nope, still there. And I said this was going to be a low-hanging fruit. I thought that was gonna be easy. What? I am using visible on all workspaces and it seems to prevent app.doc hide from working. This is probably derivative. I think there is a GitHub issue with this information. So I'll go to GitHub instead. Yes. The issue is still open. Oh no. And I cannot use visible on full screen, or can I? I think I tried this in the past and it didn't work very well. Felipe says in the chat, you will also have to hide it on Windows and Linux, which might create more headaches. Yes. Still there. But something weird is happening with my focus. Usually when I open the app, I would have to Alt-Tab to Visual Studio Code, but I don't have to anymore. I wonder which of the configurations that I added had this effect. Yes, the focus is already in Visual Studio Code. Can even type in there. That's odd. You know what? I think I'm gonna leave this for later. Oh, okay. The visible phone screen is not when you create a browser window. Visible on full screen is not when you create a browser window. It is when you are gonna say visible on all workspaces. That's when you say visible on full screen, which I guess is an option I wanted in the first place, because check this out. As I have it, I can draw on top of my Electron app, on top of my Visual Studio Code. If I make it full screen, oh, it still works. It used not to work. And I didn't even have to say visible on full screen. I guess I will. Visible full screen, set visible on all workspaces. That's the only instance. So now let's try that. There you go. Now it is not showing in the dock. Focusable window property will do that, Felipe says. Well, I am saying that the menu is not focusable because I don't want to have you, when you're drawing in the app, we went over this several times because I never figured out, I had a hard time. I think I figured it now, but I had a hard time figuring this out. But I think that what we need is to have two windows, one of which is the drawing window, the other is the menu, and I think that the focus needs to be on the drawing window so we can do things like the custom cursor, this crossbar. And the menu bar, the menu is never on focus. So that way, if I click on an option and then I start drawing again, I don't see any changes in the background. The drop shadow doesn't change. And the keyboard shortcuts are always going to, well, my drawing window, I suppose. Also, check this out. It's not even showing up here on my app switcher. exactly what I wanted. So, Aria, I said that I wanted an icon here for this, but no, I don't. I don't need one. And in fact, I'm doing exactly the opposite. I'm hiding it from here. But I will need an icon for this, and I will need an icon for, or an illustration for the website as well. Okay, and probably on Windows it will show up differently. And I guess I will need an icon for this. So I guess I need an icon even if I don't show it in the dock. And can I draw on top of the launcher? No, that is too much. But I can draw on top of the dock while the launcher is open. And if I try to start an app, it doesn't start an app, it closes the launcher. So my app, it really is on top. I can draw on top of it. It's just that I cannot send events to the app without closing the launcher. Cool stuff. I will save this for more careful reading later. And maybe some other windows as well. But let's see what I have. So app.dock hide, I think that line is crucial for this to work. It's not. Okay. What is actually doing the trick is the other line. So I can remove that. And skip taskbar, it's a to-do. Probably necessary to hide the app in Windows. I'll copy this because there will be another instance later, and then this change, which was actually the magic, so there it was a relatively low-hanging fruit. It wasn't too hard, wasn't too easy either. Put that to do over there. Probably not necessary on both. Probably just necessary on the parent, which is the drawing window, but that's all right. Menu bar, I think we did it. And in the last 10 minutes, that's how much I have to keep streaming, then I will wrap this up. So in the last 10 minutes, let's try to fix the keyboard shortcuts. But before we do, Felipe says, visible on full screen is a property that works only on macOS. I wonder how you'll hide it on Windows and Linux. Maybe app.dock hide. No, dock is macOS specific. Yeah, well, for now, on Windows, I have not tried this on Linux, and on Windows, the drawing window it doesn't even work. It's not transparent, you cannot draw on it, so Windows will be its own thing. We'll figure it out. And I believe it's possible, but I'm not that knowledgeable on Windows. I know a lot more about macOS. So, we'll see. Let's make it work on macOS first. let's have something that I can actually show people, and then I can maybe have a marketing page that says Windows support coming soon. Okay. The issue with the keyboard shortcuts, not the global keyboard shortcut, the command option space, command space that reopens the app. So I have something, and then it goes away. Comes back with the keyboard shortcut. Besides the keyboard shortcut and the menu bar, there are these keyboard shortcuts to change the color and everything, and they're broken because the keyboard shortcuts, the keyboard events are being sent to the drawing window. So I need to forward the keyboard events from the drawing window into the main Electron process and then back into this window over here. Felipe says, I put a comment on a previous video with a solution on why it wasn't working on Windows and Linux. I remember trying that and it didn't work, but I don't remember the specifics, so probably it was a mistake on my side. And there is also this other thing. The computer that I use to stream on Windows is a very old machine. It's like 10 years old. And I don't know what the graphics are in that machine, but I think that the graphics card is like shared. It's not a dedicated graphics card, and I don't think it's any good. So maybe Windows is disabling some of the advanced graphics, including things like drop shadows and transparency, So maybe my computer that I usually use for testing on Windows is not capable of doing, it's not just, it doesn't support the app. Maybe there is a way for me to say, I don't care about performance, please just enable the advanced features. As I said, I don't know that much about Windows, but in the process of doing this research on a previous stream, I learned about this Windows something something. It's a 3-letter acronym, and it somewhere in the Electron docs, I think it said that if you had that thing disabled, I think it was like DWM. If that thing was disabled, then your transparent windows wouldn't work. Maybe on my old computer, that is the case. It's disabled maybe by default, maybe without anything I can do. I don't know. Okay, so how do I want to deal? As I said, this is a new computer, so take a quick tour to learn about great features. I guess I'll do that later. So how am I planning on fixing this? I guess what I'm gonna do is continue with my approach of doing everything in-app, in the browser itself, using Mousetrap. So I guess what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take the event in the drawing window and forward it. Maybe an accelerator would work better, but I don't know if an accelerator could be as simple as just a single key. You know what, let's give this like 3 to 5 minutes, and I of course will not be able to fix the thing, but we'll figure out how we want to fix it. So I can do a global keyboard shortcut. Or, come on, go to the docs and shortcuts. There you go. Local shortcuts for a menu. So let's do something like this. When the app is ready, I will do something like that. Let's see what this looks like. At this point, oh, identifier menu has already been declared. Okay. Menu, append. I guess I would just rename this to be the menu. Menu is already the name of my menu window. Philip says it will be easier if you set all your shortcuts as global, and for the try you just call the function if clicked. It will make it easier for Linux to work too. Why do you say that? Do you think that the app is not going to capture keyboard events? I want my keyboard shortcuts to be simple, like a single number or a letter. And if that is the case, I don't think I can make all of them public or global. If I make all of them global, you'll try to type in any app and you'll be changing colors in Notestrator, so I don't think that works. But I think that maybe I can have a local, this so-called local keyboard shortcuts that would be bound to a menu like this, not a menu like that. And then when I have the window open, I guess they could be as simple as just a single number. And that's what I'm trying to figure out right now. Or if they must be something complicated like this. If that's the case, it's not going to apply. But you're saying that that will make things easier on Linux. I don't know. We'll see. I'll keep that in mind. I mean, I'm not sure I even understand what the issues on Linux will be. Okay, so I have something going on, and now I don't even see, because the app is not showing up here, it's not showing up here, I don't even see the menu anymore. But that's exactly right, that's okay, as long as I can try this out. So if I hit Alt or Alt Command and I, it should say Electron Rocks. Incidentally, that's also the keyboard shortcut to open the developer tools, but that's okay. Oh, okay, so that works. Okay, that's kind of cool. So how are we going to do this? Guess that's how we are gonna do it. So check this out. It is going to be crazy. We'll try one of these, and if it works, we'll do more of them. So let me go to my menu and go to like a color. That was a bad one. Let's go to stroke width. Here we are. So where we are binding our keyboard shortcut right here, we are gonna do the coolest and weirdest trick. We are going to create an immediately invoked function expression that returns some JavaScript. I don't think it will be even necessary actually. But for now it will return some JavaScript. That's okay. So yeah. So what's going on here? I am using my JavaScript, which initializes the Electron app, to do the HTML. And in the HTML, I can always escape back to JavaScript. So if I have a function that is immediately invoked, I have access to all my Electron APIs, including the menu, including my variable that I defined, the menu, and I can create a new menu item, which will be like color. It will read like color and then my color. That's the variable name. And then the submenu okay, this is just a test. I know it's horrible, but it's just a test. So it's not going to have any rule. The accelerator will be just a number. And the accelerator will be my shortcut variable, which in this loop, I believe is, yes, a string just with a number. Excellent. So then when I click, I am going to say Electron Rocks. So now when I start the app and I type any of my numbers, invalid template for menu item must have at least one of label, role, or type. Okay, I'll give you a label, just like that label. I'm now creating one of these menus entries per color, which is terrible idea, but we'll fix it later. So now when I type any of my keyboard shortcut, any of my numbers, it should have written Electron Rocks, but it didn't. So that must be because my keyboard shortcut is too simple. Let's try something like command plus number. Doesn't work either. Let's take a few steps back. I need to stop streaming. I need to finish this. Color is not defined. Of course it isn't. And neither will be the shortcut. Accelerators need a modifier key. Yeah, but not only that, it's not every modifier key that seems to work. Oh, because it's not command, it's CMD. No, still not working. It worked before, still not working. I'm going to copy and paste this example again. Is it because I set the application menu before the append? Menu. So yeah, it seems like you have to set the application menu after you have completed that object. Yeah, okay, and let's do this final thing. So let's do command 2 Electron rocks and just the number 2. That will not work. It does work. An accelerator does not need a modifier key. So an accelerator will work for what we want. Yeah, awesome. So all we have to do is make sure that we do this very late in the game. Probably not as late as that. We can do that after our creation of the menu, right about here. And then all these shenanigans with the menu and the tray, I think all of them could come later. The most important thing is my browser windows. And I don't need to check my platform. I don't need any of that. Oh, but the creation of the menu needs to happen first. So I will go up here. Oh no, I need to stop streaming. Let's do this. Let's finish this. Where was the part that I was changing? Right here. And then I can say right here, Electron rocks. Alrighty, so what am I going to do when I get this event? Well, I have access to my menu, web contents, execute JavaScript. And here where I say accelerator, I could say shortcut. And I don't believe that these labels can be repeated. Maybe they can, maybe they cannot, but in any case, I will call them color. This will be a label. It is ridiculous that I'm creating so many menus, but I will execute some JavaScript on my menu window, and I will say document query selector, and I will try to find this element. So how can I get a hold of this element? It is an input with a name color and a value color. Okay, so it will be a name color and a value of color. I'm going to send a click event to that guy, and I actually don't need to return any JavaScript from this, and I don't need this whole thing to be here because this will not output any HTML. but I'll leave this part of the code here. I think it's nice to collocate the definition of the input with the definition of its keyboard shortcut. And yes, I'm having to jump through hoops to actually do the keyboard shortcut, but at least the code for these two parts are in the same place. Yay! It worked! The keyboard shortcuts are firing. Next time, which will not be tomorrow, we'll work on finishing this. I have to do all the other keyboard shortcuts. There is a lot of things that I just threw in there and made things work, like we are doing something absolutely ridiculous, which is to listen to this ridiculous event so the tray variable doesn't get garbage collected. We'll try to come up with something more principled for that. But we did it. We fixed the in-app keyboard shortcuts. Not all of them. I still have to do the rest of the work and all the other ones, but let me save what I have, and I think that what I have is absolutely ridiculous, but it works. And you just gotta love how the code is bigger, but it's still in the same position. Collocation, that's one of the principal, the main tenets of how I write code. So yeah, next time we'll continue this work on the keyboard shortcuts, and there is so much to do, I don't even know. But that will not be tomorrow. Tomorrow I am over at Arya's channel, IDQD Sound. We'll be talking about Reaper programming. We'll probably continue our game. It's a game where you can learn about equalization and you can test your ears. On Wednesday, Arya will be over here on my channel and we'll be recording some acoustic guitar. And then on Thursday, I will get back to Notestrator. So that is the schedule. I see you all tomorrow over at IDQD Sound, and over here on Wednesday to do something completely different, and then on Thursday to work on Notestrator every day of the week at 5:30 UTC. Thank you for subscribing, for supporting the channel on PayPal and Patreon, and for just being here on the chat. Thank you, Felipe. Thank you, Arya, and everyone else who was here. I see you on the next one. Bye.